we start on the higher time frame, the first thing you want to do is you always want to mark up all your levels. And the levels that I use are my 800 levels, my 200 levels, my 500 levels, and my whole number levels, so 000 levels. So let's start off with that. So we'll have up here, we have 35,000. Then we got 34,500 for the next one. I'm gonna do them close, but I'm gonna fix them afterwards. Then we got 200, 800, and then we have 500 right here. These are the main ones, like in the daily range. So anything else besides these don't really matter as of right now. There's more, but hold on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do these last because that takes the most time. So let's start off. We're basically gonna look at what's going on the daily time frame. So we see that price was consolidating. We broke out, had this major drop, and we've been in this range ever since. This range from 35.91 all the way up here, this high, to this low. So we've been trading in this range. So what we're gonna want to do, we're gonna go to the previous day. So this is the last day that we had, and we're gonna mark up that daily's high and that daily low. So we have the daily low here, and we have the daily high. And the reason I do this is because if you understand price action and how candles move, when one is bearish, the chance of another candle being bearish is likely. But in this case, you also got to keep in mind that it formed bearish, but we broke this high. But we also did the same thing here, and then we had a major drop. So we could be anticipating that. So this is the daily high and daily low. And then if you look over to the left, this is this daily order block that's been being respected this past few weeks. So we're just going to drag that over. If you see that we're forming this doji now in this area, in this daily order block area. So that's already two confirmations that we could possibly see a drop this week. Because remember, we waited for price to get into these higher levels. Remember, we were waiting for price to keep trading up for possible shorts around 34,500 last week. So we're basically in that level, that area right now. So we just got to keep in mind that we could see a possible drop, and we shouldn't really expect price to just keep taking off. Even though it can, we're leaning more towards a bearish week. So let's move down. Matter of fact, before we do that, let's just move down to 4 hour first. So once we get to the 4 hour, we want to look at the daily range, because that's all that really matters at the end of the day. All this, it matters. It's good to know what's going on, but when you're taking a trade, the only thing that really matters is that it's what's happening during that day, and you just got to understand where price is likely to go for that day. Because if you're looking at stuff over here, be like, oh yeah, price is going to come down here, the chance of price coming from up here to down here in one day isn't likely. You know what I mean? So we're going to start off over here in the daily range, and we're going to understand what's going on. So we see price had a big push from down here to up here. So we're going to have this fib drawn out. This is a long-term fib, expecting price to come down to lower levels down here. Yeah, I do it from the body. I also do it from the whole numbers, but I don't know where the whole number is right now. So towards the end of the markup, when I have like all my lines and levels marked, I'm gonna fix them. But as of right now, I'm just going off of the body of the candles. Okay. Yes, it did. This is the lowest low. So if you see, we wouldn't draw it from here because price came lower. This is the lowest close before we had that push up. And then up here, this is the highest it went, the highest close before price started to fall down, and it hasn't traded up there since. And for example, another one would be down here. Right here is the lowest low, and it would be up here. And if you see, price that came down, started trading back up. That's just another little example. So now we're basically anticipating price to overall come down to these lower levels around 34,410, 34,378 around here for possible continuation. But that's just a safe target. mind you, we're trying to get shorts down to these levels. We're not trying to take buys off of these. We're using this level here as a target. Alright, so once we have that drawn out, we're going to look at the order blocks on the 4 hour. So if we see right here, an order block starting to form is right here. This would be a 4 hour bearish order block. I'm not going to draw it out right now because overall we're still in this main order block up here, this daily one. So there's no reason to have multiple inside because we know in this area we want price to fall. And if you also pull the fib from this top level all the way to the bottom of this whole range, that's where price is at right now. Here, I'll draw it to right here. You see price right now is at the 70.50 and it rejected the 79 also, and now it's starting to reject. We're also in this daily order block, so that's 2 confirmations we have for shorts already. So now let's go down to the hour. Zoom in like this. Price is starting to fall. So what I would do, I'm gonna pull my fib from this top level, the highest high, to the low of this area that we are in as of right now in this daily range. So this is the daily ranges fib. Right? And then if you look up here, right here, this candle, this was the last bullish candle before this move that took these lows and started trading lower. So we're gonna have this, we have another order block right here. I'm gonna draw this one because this is our daily range order block. Here, I'm gonna make it a different color just so it's easier to see. I'll make it just a little like this. So that's our daily. This is our 4 hour, not a 4 hour, our 1 hour order block right here. So as of right now, that's what I'm saying. Once you see it and you keep practicing, you'll always see it. And then you could always see price always trades back into it at some point. 1 minute is every time frame, bro. Because you know what fractals are. You understand fractals? Okay, so fractals is basically, you see how on this higher time frame the candles are moving like this. Like, just say this wasn't a weekly, no matter what time frame you're on, all the candles are gonna move the same. That's why I like to say this market is not random, because the market moves in an algorithm. And if you see that, because if you practice these concepts, you see it on every single time frame doing the same thing over and over again every day. It doesn't matter what time frame you're on. The lower the time frame is just going to be the faster your trade is. That's all it is. Because our time frame, you could trade the same way, use the same strategy on the 4 hour. You just have to wait longer for your setups. Same thing with, like, if you go to 5 minute, you can find smaller, you'll be finding the same thing. So if you say, let's do an example right here, pull from this low to this high, look, that's where we're in right now. And that's also going to bring to me, if you saw that lower time frame, how price is doing this, it's not at a, like, don't really worry about this fib, how it's drawn, because it's a lower time frame one. That's why it's in the middle of this wick. But if you see, price went up in this range, and now we're rejecting this area right here. So now we're anticipating price to keep coming up into our 1 hour order block, this fib, to then keep coming lower to go down here. That's overall what we want to see this week. So now that we have this, we overall have what we want to see. We have a bearish week. We have these areas that we want to see price come to. And this is how you also stay away from bad trades, because if you know where you want to enter the market, it's going to keep you from getting in at times you don't want to. You understand? So let me take this fib off. I'm going to take this fib off. Should I take the fib? No, I'm going to leave that fib right there. Basically, this is what we want to see as of right now. And now let's draw our zones, our levels, so we'll have a clear view. So we're going to have 34,800, have 34,500, right? 34. You said what? Say it again. Yeah, they moved, man. So we'll have 34,500. We'll have 34,200. All right. Damn. This all the way down there. All right. I just put like 5 of them back. All right. So we have 34,200, 34,500. Then we have 34,800. These are our levels as of right now. We're not gonna draw the rest because it's we don't really need them right now. Matter of fact, I'll draw one down here in this area because I'm pretty sure there's a 200 level and there's a 500 level. Where's the 500 level? That's 500 level. All right, never mind. So this is basically what we're trading in right now. These are our main levels. We have the main level up here, 34,800. We have this 34,500 level. And then we have 34,000 all the way down here. But this level is not really important as of right now. So we're basically, the only thing we're worried about is price moving from up here at 30, going from 34,566. We want price to trade up when market opens to possibly fall lower in the beginning of the week. And then from there, we'll draw fibs from this low. We already have fibs from this low, matter of fact. So from there, we'll basically look to see if price is rejecting in this area for possible longs, or if we don't see those possible longs, we'll have these trades running from these sells already if you keep a runner to possibly catch more. Because if I get sells over here, I'm going to be getting out over here as a safe target. Because you never know, price could come here and then trade back up, continue in the uptrend. You understand? And did you see in the group chat how I was talking about the 0.38 level right here, 38.2? This is a continuation level. So if you see like on a higher time frame, where was it? Let me see that trade that I had took. I'm going to show you. It was, I'm going to do it right here real quick. Where was that move? It was over here somewhere. I remember it. Right here. So if you see right here, price came up, came down, but it didn't come for the full retracement. It started rejecting this level right here. And if you also look, that was also a whole number level right here. 34,500 was right here. So we had two confirmations right here. We didn't fall lower. We started rejecting. So we saw that this could possibly continue. So that's basically what we could also see here, but it's just something to keep in mind. These are all safe targets that you would always want to get out. So if you get sells up here, your first target is 140 points. And then your next target is all the way down here, 230. So even if you don't catch this full move, you're still going to be catching something, even if it keeps this uptrend. Because price can come right here, never come down here, then keep trading higher. But you still took advantage of that opportunity. You know what I mean? So that's basically US 30. We're expecting a bearish week overall. But if you look at the weekly time frame for US 30, it was also bullish. So we just keep that in mind also. Because we could just keep trading higher because US 30 is always moving up. So you never want to expect a major fall like this, because the likelihood of something like that happen isn't, something really bad would have to happen for it to fall like that. So we just trade the daily range, and basically that's it for US 30. Then we're gonna move on to our other pairs. Next we have Euro USD. So we do the same thing. We start on the higher time frames. We're gonna mark the daily low. Then we're gonna mark the daily high. This is kind of a weird daily range. This is almost the same as what happened with US 30. We formed a bearish candle, but we also broke the lows. But this is a rejection candle. So if you look over, this is a daily order block right here. This is a daily bullish order block. And that's what price is rejecting as of right now. So see, price came down and is rejecting. And when it came here, the momentum pushed it all the way back up. So that's a strong sign that we could respect this level. So you're going to want to go down to now the 4 hour. Now we understand. Yeah, look at this. This is a full. These are big candles, and this is on the 4 hour. That's a bullish candle after it took out these lows. So that's telling you that price doesn't want to fall. So we're holding this level, this daily order block. Let's pull the fib from this low to this high. Let's take off this continuation. Matter of fact, it's respecting the continuation and the 62 because it's staying above both. But I'm gonna take that off because if you look, as soon as it came down to the 62 and this order block, price is rejected. So as of right now, we're expecting price to keep going higher. Even though the daily candle broke lows, with how price is looking on the 4 hour, we're rejecting an order block. We're rejecting this, and we had a bearish candle forming right after. So that's 3 confirmation that price is likely gonna keep going higher to take out these highs up here. But in case you never know what's gonna happen, let's pull the fib from here because price could likely come up here, range, do whatever it's gonna do, and then probably keep falling lower. So you always just want to keep that back in mind. That's all it is. That's where the banks have their entries at. So that's why price always trades back to those areas. Because if you understand the banks, they don't want to lose money. So say they get into trades all the way down here. They were buying all here. Price was all up here. No, say they were selling here. They were selling here. But they bring price all the way up. Bring it back down so they can get out of their positions without losing money. And now they're going to bring price all the way back up. Because if you see these big candles, retail traders can't make these candles. That's billions of dollars being put into something. And that's banks. So if you understand a bank wants price to go higher, like this, why would they push it back down and just stop itself out? It's more likely to keep going. You understand? So let's move on to the hourly. And let's look inside the daily range and what's going on in this daily range. Let's pull our fib from this low to this high. And if you look right here also, this is another order block right here on the lower time frame, the hourly. These are all levels we just want to keep in the back of our mind. It doesn't mean it's going to trade to there, but we understand when price comes to this level, we understand what it might most likely might do. So as of right now, what we're anticipating price to do is possibly come lower, retrace lower, because if you understand how Euro USD and US like this and Euro USD move, they move kind of opposites, I would say. So that's basically what we're expecting Euro USD. Since we had this big candle, I'm expecting price to retrace, have a retracement to possibly keep coming lower to these levels up here. For anyone that trades it, this would be a safe exit. This is where they would want to be getting out. Because price could possibly keep going, but you got to always keep in mind that this is a fib on a higher time frame, and always respect the higher time frame. So price could always fall right back after. So you would rather take profits, take partials, leave a runner, and then rather have a runner stopped out. It's always good to try and leave your trades to run as long as possible, but you always want to make money. That's the whole point of trading. You don't want to hold something for 2 days just to not make no money. Nobody wants to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, at least. I usually take 80% off at like 1 to 5. Like say I risk $100, I'll take off 80% at 150 and 150 profit. Now leave the runner to run everything else. All right, so let's go to GJ now. Same thing. I'll do the same thing for all my charts. Start off on the daily. Say it again. Oh, this GJ. Yeah, it was real bullish. I used to trade GJ before I trade US 30. It's a good pair. I recommend GJ for anybody starting trading because it's highly respective and it's easy to trade. Like you see right here, price started came in rejecting. This wouldn't have really been a trade to take, but right here, people could have took a trade. Cause mind, this on the daily, right here, that could have been a move to catch, and then price came back down. We're not worried about all that. We're worried about what's happening up here and this range. So if you see how big this candle is, it's a big candle, but it's on the daily. So you want to pull the fib from the bottom low, the bottom closed candle, to the top closed candle. And now this is the area we're expecting price to come back lower to, right down here. So this daily candle's also, it's bearish. It never broke the high either. So we're expecting price to come lower to have a retracement now. Because mind you, US30, we want the same thing. We're expecting price to have a retracement. GJ and US30 usually move the same way. So it's always, that's why when you go from trading certain pairs, you can look at certain ones to understand what one might do. Because if you understand how GJ works or US30, then you understand that most of the time, if price is moving up on these pairs, that say something like gold is probably moving down. You know what I mean? Or if gold is going up, then likely US30 is probably going down because they're opposites. So we're gonna go to the lower time frame now. We're expecting an overall pullback on the higher time frames. So now we're going to be looking for those confirmations. So we're gonna pull the fib from right up here to this low. And as of right now, we are coming close to this area that we want to see price reject. So when market opens, we're expecting price to come maybe a little bit higher, and then look for confirmations of sells. And the best sells, these are just, the 79 is my last hope. If it doesn't respect this, then the chances of it doing a full retracement and then just keep going up is more likely. The 79 is like the last straw for me. Once it starts breaking that, if it's not rejecting here, then I'm not going to take the trade. So as of right now for GJ, we're expecting price to keep trading up to here, respect these lows, this downtrend, reject these levels. If you also look, we're gonna have to go to a lower time frame for this, but if you look at the last up candle before this whole move, the last up candle before all of this, it's kind of hard to see because it's all like in the same area, but I'm gonna say right here, this is the last up candle before the whole move. So this would be our bearish 1 hour order block. And if you see prices in there as of right now, so that's one confirmation, two confirmation with this fib, and then if we start respecting the lows and keep lows, then that's 4 confirmations right there. We have a price action confirmation, we have the fib confirmation, which means the market is overbought, and we have this order block. So now this is the best possible area that I would want to get into to see price come lower, to trade down, break this low, because since it's a bearish day, we're expecting the next day to also break the low. And then once it breaks the low, we have clean candles all through here from this bullish move. And another thing, I don't think I've said this in my other ones, but you understand what I don't think you understand what an imbalance is. So I'm gonna show you. So you see how price, since these candles are so large, these candles never really retraced. They didn't have big retracements. They just kept pushing. When the market does that, it's leaving gaps in the market. So if you see right here, this candle's wick, this candle went up, and this candle never came down. So when there's gaps like this in the market, you always use 3 candles. It's the 3 candles. There's an imbalance here in the market, and when there's an imbalance, that means the market never gave the sellers an opportunity. So eventually price will come down to these levels and try to fill it. So there's another one. This is just the closest one. There's one right here. There's small one right here. There's also one right here at this fib. So that's 2 confirmations at this fib already. But I'm not going to draw those. I'm just going to have this one because this is targets that we could have. This is right under the daily low. And we could see is likely to happen. That's what I'm expecting for GJ right now. Overall, I want to see price come down to these levels all the way down here. But as of right now, that's not really important because that's far away. So we're just going to play it from up here. Wait to see if it rejects. But if it starts pushing, then you're easily just not going to take the trade. Then you could just reevaluate and remark up. That's why I like using these fibs with overbought, because you're getting the best area to enter. Because if price starts coming up, your stop's not going to be that wide. Your stop's going to be, say, right above here, but your take profit is, your first TP could be at this low, second TP right here, third TP, fourth TP, and if you leave a runner, you could just leave the runner to possibly come all the way, depending on how much patience you have. I don't got much patience, so I wouldn't hold it like this. But you see this, a 10 pip stop for potential 125 pip take profit. That's a 1 to 12. More than 1 to 12. But you see what I mean? It gives you the best opportunity and the best likelihood of making your money back. It gives you a good risk to reward with a good reasoning behind it, because it's not like we're just like, yeah, we're gonna sell. We have multiple confirmations. Where's my pen? We have one confirmation, we have this order block confirmation, and we have, since it's the respecting the lows, that's a price action confirmation. So that's 3 confirmations as of right now. So that's basically what we want to see happen with GJ. We're expecting price to fall lower, just as you like US30. It's kind of a similar setup if you look at it. We're expecting the same thing. Here, let me draw this over. In fact, this isn't even supposed to be. Wait a minute. Where's my US30? That's not even the one I marked up. Here it is. I was about to say, I was confused. But it's like the same thing you're expecting to happen, you see? They move very similar. So now let's move on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, I trade it the same way, but usually you got to trade it a little bit different. Because Bitcoin, it's not really centralized. Anything can happen with Bitcoin. Someone could say something about Bitcoin right now and it'll move. So, but I use the same concepts. I'm going to draw my daily low, my daily high. Because even though it moves a little bit different, these techniques and strategy that I use still work, because the market all moves the same. It's good. Bitcoin is going to use the same algorithm to move price, as long as someone like Elon Musk doesn't make a tweet about it and make everyone buy it for no reason. So right now, matter of fact, let's do it right here, because price is moving as of right now for Bitcoin. So this isn't even the previous day. This is happening right now. So we want to have the previous day, because if this was bearish, we anticipate this to keep coming lower, as it's doing right now. It did break the low, right? So we're expecting price to keep falling with Bitcoin. And as of right now, Bitcoin's kind of in a hard spot, but we're going to mark it up. Watch this. We about to make this whole analysis, make it worth it. So right here, on the daily time frame, we have this order block up here at the 79%. This is a daily order block. And what level is this at? This is at 38,800 right here. 38,400. I don't really think price might come up to here as of right now, but this isn't a good entry that I would like to see for Bitcoin. This is more of a long-term. Bitcoin isn't something you necessarily want to be in and out all day scalping, because you can make, most of the money is made through buying. You understand? And like holding long-term, that's where all the swings come in, because holding like something like this, you're going to make a lot of money. That's where most of your money, 45% fall, you could have capitalized on all of this. So we're anticipating right now, price is falling as of right now. So this is kind of in a hard spot. So let's move on to a higher time frame, because at this moment, I'm really expecting price to just keep falling lower, because it's already breaking this low. So price could just keep falling lower, doing what it's doing. Because if you look at what's already happening and what already happened, let's take all of this off and look at what's already happening. So if you pull from up here, this last up candle to here, price had came up already and rejected this area. So it already had a move. You understand? So price did come up, and now it's starting to fall. And see how it's already breaking the low? We're anticipating price to keep falling lower. So that's when we go to a higher time frame. So we're gonna pull the fib from here. Matter of fact, no, we're not. It's not even gonna respect that. This is kind of hard to trade Bitcoin because it's like, you see what I mean? This is on a weekly time frame. There's nothing really to understand where it might go next, because all this is just up candles. It's just been going up. We don't know where it's gonna stop. But let's go to the 4 hour and try to see what's going on inside of this. So something we could possibly see, if we pull from this up here, this high, to the low that we're in now, price is already moving up. So price could keep coming back up to these levels that are already rejected up here, and then keep going lower. That's what I would try to get into for Bitcoin shorts. It's kind of hard to trade it. That's why I don't really trade Bitcoin like that. If I understood it more, I would put more time and effort and put more chart work into it. But most of my time goes in US30, as you know, and that's when you put more time into something, you understand it better. So the likelihood of you taking winning trades are more likely. I'm not gonna put the Bitcoin trades in a chat for people to take that I'm not even likely might even work. I'm more likely like to trade Bitcoin somewhere up here where it's ranging and not in the middle of a move. You understand? But it's cool. Just wait for Bitcoin to do what it's gonna do. I'm expecting price to come up to here, 33,800 area, 33,400, something like this. And then you want to look for confirmations. You want to make sure it's keeping this downtrend. So make sure it makes another higher low, doesn't make a high. So we'll be rejecting this. Let's look for an order block in this area right here. This order block right here, the last up candle before this fall. We got this daily order block right here. So that's 3 confirmations that we have in that area. That's why say it again. Yeah, I think it's gonna keep going lower. I remember I said it was gonna fall like 20,000, 2030, because I was looking at it from the, we got about 10 minutes on here, but it's cool. Remember, I was talking about it when it was up here. I said, take your money out of Bitcoin. It's about to fall, because I saw that it was this whole month engulfed this whole candle, and it was starting to fall past here. And then look, price fell all the way down to 30,000. Now it's rejecting, is because we had a big fall. We're rejecting to possibly keep coming lower. So that's why it's good to wait for Bitcoin to possibly fall and then make a support on a high time frame. Like, you don't want to trade it long term on a low time frame. Okay, but yeah, that's my anticipation for Bitcoin. As of right now, we want to see a push up to then keep falling lower, because we're not going to buy Bitcoin right now. We're in a downtrend, a crazy downtrend, respecting the lows, respecting the fibs. So it makes more sense to try and short than to buy. So let's move on to lastly, NAS 100. Start off the same thing, daily. And NAS moves similar to US30 too. So just like US30, we're expecting shorts. The likelihood of us expecting shorts on here are also likely. So we want to mark up our daily low, our daily high. And if we see price is rejecting this area right here, we had a bearish candle. This is forming bearish. It rejected, took these highs. So when you see something like this and it breaks the high but rejects, it likely just took the liquidity from above these highs. And you know what liquidity is? Okay, so say right here, before any of this happened, don't mind. Let's just move all these out the way. Say price, this is what price was doing. Above this high, what do you think people have above there? Stop losses. Yep, perfect. And you know what? You ever heard of stop hunts? Yeah. That's exactly what they are. So when price, if say the banks want to bring price lower, they're gonna likely take out the people that are shorting already. They're gonna bring price up and make them want to buy it, right? Because if you see that all this is printing up and then you see that it's breaking a high, you're going to anticipate a breakout on a lower time frame. And then price comes right back down, stops you out, And then you're like, oh, the banks did it. They're manipulating. They saw my stop loss. No, that's just how it moves. They understand where people have their stop losses at. And that's why you got to keep it back in the mind. So if you see that it did this and started falling right away, it shows you that price is likely to keep on falling, and we're respecting the lows. So we're respecting everything, downtrend. So we're expecting price to keep coming lower to break this low. So let's move on to a lower time frame, because the daily is it's a big range as of right now. And look at this. What'd I say? I didn't even see this until now. I told you, and look, bearish candle is about engulfed this whole thing. Took them out, came down. You even said yourself, the big candles. And now we're expecting price to keep coming lower to take these lows out, to then bring this fib from here to here, to come to lower levels lower like this. I'm not going to get too in depth on this NAS breakdown, because it's basically the same thing as US 30. We're expecting price to keep coming lower, break these lows. It's simple. You just got to keep it simple, because if you overcomplicate it, you're just going to make it's going to make it harder. If you also see right here, we have an imbalance in the market. We filled it a little bit to the left right here, but we never fully filled it. So we still have all this to fill. So that's one confirmation. Then is this imbalance? This is another confirmation, because this is most likely going to create an order block once it keeps making the lows, right? Because once it keeps breaking these lows, it's most likely going to become an order block, right? And we know that because of the institutional, and we know how the banks also trade. So we're not going to draw it right there now, but we're basically expecting price to fall lower, just like US 30, to then possibly keep going higher. It could fall lower, but you would want to get out of your trades in this area. Let's move on to a 1 hour to see everything. Take these off, because you always want to keep in mind what's always going on. So let's pull from here. We're not going to draw from here because this is lower, even though they're close. From this top to here. An area you want to watch out for is this area here. If price, you want to see if price is going to reject here. This is a little bit different, since it's not exactly the same as US 30. You want to watch here, because if you start to see rejection candles here, you don't want to sell the market, because at that point it'll be respecting these lows. It will be making a lower low, and if it's rejecting, it's also right here. See this? This is a bullish order block on the 1 hour. This is a lower confirmation though. Remember, our other confirmation on a higher time frame, so the likelihood of this being respected is lower than anything else. But it's always good to just keep it in the back of your mind, because you always want to know why something does something. Because if price rejects here and you're like, oh, I thought it was going to fall, at least you know now, okay, this was an order block. It was also a fib level, and it was keeping this uptrend, so it makes sense. But I'm overall bearish on here, just like US 30. But you always want to keep in mind these levels, such as here, because it could always respect it and then keep going lower. Because we might have a good understanding of what price most likely is going to do, but we never know exactly what it's going to do. Because this whole candle, it broke the low of this candle, and it never broke the high, and it took the highs out. So the likelihood of it keep falling, we know, is way more likely than to keep going up. But that's basically it. Say it again. These, I don't even know why these are here, to be honest with you. They weren't there for, I think it's just because it's NAS. I think it's whatever the broker is. Matter of fact, let's pull. I haven't even used the volume profile on none of these. So mind you, if these levels start to look, see how this is a high volume area? This session volume that I'm using is showing the volume for each day. So see this range? It's showing you where the most volume is for that day. And look, if you see where the most volume is for the previous day, is over here. So it's always something to keep in the back of your mind. And if you pull this, bring it to a higher time frame to see where all the volume is, look where it's at. Took these highs, now where's all the volume at? Right where it's at as of right now. So the likelihood of it keep falling to then come to other areas that have a lot of volume are also likely. And look where those volume, look where it's at. And when you see stuff like this in the market right here, low volume, right here, I didn't mean to do that. Right here, see how price had big candles right here, where a lot of volume, but then it got really low. Price likes to fill in areas that are really low. And if you see where this is right here, right? How it's low volume, where is that at? If you look left, what is this? Imbalance, right? And then you start putting everything together. We knew this was imbalance before we were looking at the volume profile. That's what I'm saying. Candles show you everything you need to know. Like, there's always a reason behind everything. Even if you saw that this was imbalance, even if you didn't see this was imbalance, but you used the volume profile, you would already knew that price would likely want to fill in this area, just off a simple price action. That's basically it, bro. If you got anything else you want me to mark up? All right, that's cool. But if you have anything else you want me to mark up for next time, bro, just let me know. I'll mark up anything. But that's basically it. US 30, we're expecting price to fall lower and go higher. Same thing with Euro USD. Same with GJ. Euro USD, we're kind of expecting the opposite, price to go fall and go a little higher. That's all it is. Starting the daily time frame, because if you understand the higher time frame, you understand what's more likely to happen. But that's all. Yeah, that's. And I don't, even then, I marked up all these, but the only thing I'm gonna be looking at is US 30 at the end of the day. So I just did all that for the people that are gonna watch the video. This is all we're expecting. But I'm gonna go over it during the week when we're on the lives and everything. So you don't even gotta worry about it. If anything changes, we'll be up to date with it. But alright, bro, I'm gonna talk to you later. I'm gonna make some more videos for the chat. I'm gonna record this, put it in the chat in case you want to rewatch it. But I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna be live tomorrow because of Memorial Day, but we're gonna see. I'll let you all know. Alright, bro, you be safe.